I have a story to tell you, a story about immigration, about nostalgia, and of course about tea. We are in the middle of the 1900s. It's the end of the Second World War, and with the end of the war, also the Japanese occupation of the island of Taiwan ends. Taiwan is back in the hands of China, and with that, a massive move of people from mainland China to Taiwan starts. That's the second half of the 40s, but in the early 50s, the immigration is even stronger. After, in the 1949, the People's Republic of China was founded. So now you have to imagine millions of people moving on the island and finding something different than what they've left. They had to consider that Taiwan was occupied for about 50 years by the Japanese, and tea is no exception to the change. You know that in Taiwan the main tea production is oolong. There is also a little bit of black tea, and back at that time it wasn't different. But now, what's the main tea that the Chinese in mainland China drink? I'm sure you know, it's green tea. No matter where you live, most Chinese in China drink green tea. So one of the things they were missing in Taiwan was green tea, their home green tea. And there was a small group of immigrants in the northern Taiwan, in New Taipei, that actually asked the locals, and I think even the government actually, to promote green tea production. So what happened is that with the means that there were there in Taiwan, it means also with the local cultivars, a green tea production started. That green tea later on changed name and was named after a very famous green tea in China, Bilochun. Now, what the two teas have in common is not much. Is actually almost only the name and the fact that both are green teas. But let's find out more, and let's go and taste a Taiwan Biluochun, also called Sanxia Biluochun, after that district in New Taipei where the green tea was produced and is still produced today. Let's have a look at the leaves to get started and smell at the dry leaves. Today I'm using a teapot. I often go for this teapot with green tea. It is fairly large, it's 150, maybe a little bit more milliliters. And the leaves are fairly large. Actually, they are twisted along their length, resembling a little bit a yancha, a ui rock tea, if you want. Or if we don't want to go that far and we want to remain in Taiwan, like a bao hong, for example. Certainly not like Chinese Biluochun, that comes with very tiny leaves that are worked out in the wok to shape them like a small snail. In fact, the name Biluochun is that what it means. Bi means green, luo means snail, and chun means spring. So no snails here. Very fresh, green, but it doesn't remind me of grass, even not cat grass. It's a deeper greenish smell. All right, I'm really curious to try the tea because it's first time that I'm trying this batch. I have tried before Taiwan Biluochun, or as we say, the Sanxia Biluochun, but that's the first time I tried this batch. Let's go for how much? We say this is a fairly large guy one, maybe 3-4 grams, even 4 we could do. 3 grams, let's do 4. It takes a lot of volume. All right, here we are, a little bit above 4 grams. I will brew with 80 degrees centigrade, 176 degrees Fahrenheit. And actually I have this sample by chance because a few days ago I was in Berlin. I saw this bag and on it it's simply written sample. So I didn't know what there was inside. I just picked it up. I knew it was in the box coming from Taiwan. So then I asked our suppliers, and they told me, oh yes, we were not able to fit all the Bilochun in the big box, so we put what was left in here. All right. Then it was destiny that I'm going to try the tea. Super fresh, of course, green tea, we're not rinsing it. What to expect? I didn't have the feeling from the smell that it was a floral tea. There was nothing that let me think about that, and the classic Bilochun smell was also not there. Pale color, very clear. I'm so thirsty. I don't drink a lot green tea, and every time I do, I ask myself why I don't drink it more often. Wow, so savory. So definitely thick texture. And the aromatics are very intense. It's not a tea, it's not shy. Oh, I like it. It doesn't have the bitterness of a mainland China Bilochun, a Suzhou Bilochun. Let's see if will come out a little bit later. Is rather sweet, actually. Definitely on the sweet side, yeah. And I already spilled, of course. I knew I had to use a saucer. So yes, the first thing that came up to my mind is very fresh, relatively thick texture, and a deep, intense aroma. Now, what type of aroma do we have here? Greens, again. That's the dominant one. It reminds me a little bit a hard pear. So there are different type of pears, not the yellow skin one, maybe more a green pear that is more crunchy. Yeah, that's what reminds me. I'm leaving this steep a little bit longer, so let's see if we can get something else out of it. I actually even didn't check the price of the tea. It's online, and that's the price on the European market or European shop. And this one here is the price on the US shop. So you know the price, I don't. The brew remains very clean, very clear. I'm not using a strainer. It is a pale yellow. It's just water with a tiny bit of yellow. Let's see if it has gained some strength. Oh, the wet leaves. Oh. It's very fresh, this tea. The wet leaves has the classic smell of green tea when you are right at the tea garden, just processed. I cannot tell you how long this smell will stay there. We store all the green tea in the fridge, so we try to keep it harvest fresh as long as possible. But certainly if you want to really experience the very, very freshness that I'm experiencing right now, it's better to get at least a little bit soon. In terms of color, if you can see that, it's fairly multicolor. It's green, of course, but there are also some shades of yellow. I hope you could see that. Very nice. It stays consistent. The longer brew, it has lost a tiny bit of that green aspect and is becoming more brothy. Yeah, but certainly on the fruitiness side. Fruity, but I said in a very different way than Biluochun is. I mean, Biluochun, the other one, Suzhou. The Suzhou Biluochun is famous for a fruity taste, but it always comes with a very distinct bitterness. Very pleasant, especially of course for those that like the bitter taste. I love it. Biluochun is like one of the most thirst-quenching green tea there are out there. But this one has the fruitiness, but instead of having that typical Biluochun bitterness, that's replaced with sweetness. Definitely sweet. And now I have it. Is a combination of a fairly soft texture, thick but soft. That's what I meant before when I say that it's like a broth, so it's thick but soft, round. And the aroma is the opposite. The aroma is very present and very lively. So you have this contrast a little bit between a soft, smooth texture and a lively aroma. I wonder, I think this tea can sustain even higher temperature. We could probably even try with boiling water. Certainly to try if you would like even more strength, although it's not that it's really lacking. Wow. It's hot today, but somehow it feels even refreshing. And you see, it stays very clear, so you can try this with other teas, with other green tea. You get often such a dark colors. I'm not sure actually that you were able to see very well the list before, so I'm trying these. I'm saying I'm trying. Of course it doesn't work out very well. But yeah, you can see that the lists are fairly large. It is a specific cultivar. It's called Qingxin Gangzhong, and Qingxin is the classic cultivar from Taiwan, green heart, and Gan means Mandarin, and maybe, yeah, because of the fruitiness. I actually don't associate it with the taste of mandarin. I say later pears, but other people maybe have a different opinion. Look, very large leaves, so the oolong footprint is there for sure. It seems they have adapted somehow the Qingxin cultivar. That's my guess right now, I'm just speculating for this specific tea. So, just a sip of the third brew. Another things that pop up to my mind is that I remember this tea greener. With greener I mean more grassy, right? I meant it tastes greenish like vegetables, but not like grass. Now why? It could be because our tea taster knows that I am not very much in favor of a lot of grassiness in green tea, just because I think grassiness comes out when the chashing is not done properly and it remains too unripe in a way, the taste. So maybe they really choose also a batch just considering my personal taste, but it's certainly surprised for the lack of bitterness and the lack of grassiness. As we said, thick, round texture with a lively aroma that tends towards the fruitiness, but with a clear vegetable component. I hope that allows you to give you a whole picture. If you have the tea at home, write in the comments below what do you taste, what do you smell, what do you associate the tea with, so that I can get the feeling if it's only me having all this sensation or also you feel the same. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and yes, sure, why not? Give us a like. That's very helpful especially for motivation, I have to say. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next one. Bye.